Hey, we're Charlie and Dale, aka Climbing Van. We're currently based in England and we have a Mercedes Sprinter. It's an ex-DHL van, so bright yellow, called Ringo.
So this is our kitchen. It's a nice big L shape, and the reason we went for that is because we wanted to have loads of room for cooking, storage, and not feel like it was super cramped. We've got a really big sink and a 4-hob cooker, and we just wanted it to feel like a proper kitchen that you'd have in a house and that it didn't feel really cramped when you're trying to cook. These are our light switches. They control all of the lights in the van. So this is the front, we've got the back here as well, and then this is the fairy lights. We've also got more light switches by the bed so that we can kind of control them from bed as well. This is our overhead storage. Initially we were planning on having curtains here, but when we hung them up it kind of just looked like there was a tea towel hanging up. So we took that out and we built this, which is really nice. So this kind of opens up and gives us lots of storage above the cab. What we ended up doing was taking out the kind of bit above the cab and chopping it down and putting a platform in, which created this. That was one of the first things that we did in the van, and that's just given us a lot more storage. So then here we've got the sink, which is a mini Belfast sink. It's slightly ridiculous because it does weigh quite a lot, but we always knew that we wanted a Belfast sink just to give us loads of room for kind of washing up and just make it super easy, and it just looks really nice as well.
Our favourite part of the van has to be our Belfast sink because it's completely ridiculous. We love how split everybody is on our sink. 50% of people find it amazing and the other half wonder why on earth we put a sink that weighs 30 kilograms in our van. But we absolutely love it.
Lots of storage around here, so there's kind of cutlery drawers and there's like various storage. We've got a lot more storage kind of under this corner, and the way that's accessed is you kind of go through one of these cupboards and then you can access it through there. So we're just using that storage for kind of extra food that we don't need to get to super often, but it just gives us a lot more room. And this is a spice rack from IKEA, which is what you see in most vans, and they're just really useful for storing lots of different bits and bobs. And then here we've got our overhead storage, which runs kind of the whole length of the van, but it's really useful for just storing kind of kitchen bits. And we've also got plugs in this one as well, so that if we want to put anything on charge we can kind of hide it away. We've also got switches here, and these control our fans overhead. So this one turns on the front fan and this one turns on the back one. The one in the kitchen sucks air out, and then there's one above the bed that kind of pushes air down, and so it just means that it keeps circulation in the van, and it kind of stops condensation. It's good when you're cooking and that kind of thing, and the fan is useful in the summer when it's a bit hot above the bed. This is our 4-ring hob. This is just a normal domestic hob. It's by Neff. We also made this little cookbook holder just out of birch ply and dowling. It's really nice just to have some books next to the kitchen. So this is our skylight. It's a Dometic one, and it kind of has handles so that you can lift it up and pop it open and let some air in. It has a fly net that pulls across here, and there's also a blackout blind that you can pull across for when you're sleeping. It's probably not one of our favourite purchases because when you pull the blackout blind across, it can kind of rattle quite a lot because it's a little bit leaky, so the wind kind of gets through and it makes quite a lot of noise at night. And it's also just quite sticky when you try and pull across the blind. It can kind of get stuck quite a lot, which is quite annoying. The thing that we did do is it kind of came with this big kind of cream moulding, which we didn't really want in the van because we knew that it would kind of look messy and it would just kind of stand out a lot against the ceiling. So we've ended up kind of hiding it beneath our cladding and not putting that kind of surround on, so that it means that it's kind of hidden away a bit more, which looks a lot better.
I think van life changed my life because it made me realise that I don't need to go into an office 9 to 5, and I can achieve probably way more and better quality work, working remotely on hours that suit me and in a place that I really want to be.
So this is our little projector. It's a ViewSonic M1 Mini, and it's actually surprisingly good for a little product. So to go with it, we bought off eBay for about £15, I remember, this little roll-out projector screen. And then rolls down. So we use our slide-out table and we position it right at the end, which gets us a perfect distance away from the screen. So this is our seating and dining area. It consists of 2 benches. So this one's good for about 2 to 3 people, and this is a cosy 2-seater. So below here we've got some storage, and then on the other side we've got our electrical system, which we can go into a bit more detail later. So the main feature of our seating area, other than the seats, is our slide-out table. So we slide out 600mm, so it's a fairly big table, and we made it out of the floorboards that we have in the van as well. So it uses 2 linear guides and a push to open feature, so it's now in its kind of locked state. So down here we've got 2 230-volt sockets, and then in that back corner we've got a little heating duct. So below the table we've got an additional drawer for smaller items. And you'll notice that when I push it back in, a little trapdoor has moved out of the way, revealing our U-shaped bench. We can keep on pulling it until we've created a mini bed. This also gives us really quick access to boot storage. We can quickly fold back down, push under, and hide away.
So I work as an engineer and a designer, so when we're away in the van I can do the vast majority of that work remotely, and we'll try and do that a couple of days a week, as well as working on some of our own little projects.
So I work in a technical role in a travel company. I do data analysis, I'm involved with software development and also digital marketing. So it's something that's really easy to do remotely. So once we go away in the van, then I'll just be doing that for 2 days a week remotely.
So our electrical system is all below this bench. We've got our 2 180 amp hour batteries on the left, and then all of the other electrics are on the right. So all you need to do is remove this seat, and then we can access all of the systems in here. So at the back of here we've got 3 kill switches, which we can access by just tilting this forward. We've also got a 12-volt fuse box and our VSR, and then more towards the front, the easier to access parts, we've got a gas level monitor, we've got a water level monitor, and the switch for our water pump. We've also got the charge controller here for the solar panels. We've got the battery monitor so that we can see the state of the batteries, and we've also got the thermometer for the heater. So underneath all of this is our inverter. It's an 800 watt Sterling power inverter. So 800 watts is completely fine for us, and it would be completely fine for most people. It means that if you tried to plug something like a domestic kettle in, it would trip it, but that's kind of not an issue for us. We've spec'd it based on what we'll be using. And basically the way it works is we've just got a couple of extension cables plugged into that, and all of our sockets and some of our lights and various other things are kind of wired into that, and that's just hidden away below all of this. In this section we have our batteries. We've got 2 180 amp hour Varta batteries. We've got quite a lot of power, so we could kind of sit on our laptops playing movies and working and charging phones and things for a few days with no sun, and we'd be fine.
We chose this lifestyle because we're both climbers, and so we wanted to convert a van to live in so that we can travel around Europe climbing. At the moment we haven't been able to do that due to COVID, but we're hoping to move into our van full-time from April. In the climbing community, it's really common that people have vans to either live in or go on long trips away in, because it's a really good base to go back to after climbing, and it means that you can follow the weather instead of being stuck in one place where you might not be able to climb. And it's just a really nice way of living and, you know, reducing everything that you have.
So this is our bed. We went for a standard double bed lengthways, and that's because Dale's quite tall. That's part of the reason that we decided to buy a long wheelbase. But what it means is that we can just put a standard mattress in, and it gives us a lot of storage space next to the bed. So we decided to make this really nice little bedside table. But what it also means is that it lifts up here, and we've got some really deep storage space for kind of clothes and like lots of various bits and bobs, and it's super easy to access. So the overhead storage continues the full length of the van, and that means that we get lots of useful storage space above the bed as well. The other thing that I was really keen to do, because I love plants, was to have some of it open. So we created this little plant space here, and we just put a bit of doweling across, and it means that we can have a plant. It kind of, if you get the right size pot, it will stay in space while you're driving around, and it's just really nice to have a bit of greenery in the van. So here we've got more light switches and plugs. We were really keen to put light switches in the bedroom as well, so that we could turn off the bedroom lights and the fairy lights from bed, and we wouldn't have to get up and go to the kitchen to turn those off. We've also got more plugs here so that we can just charge our phones in bed. And we've also used these little kind of quarter doweling pieces to just tidy up some of the edges. So this is our bookcase. This is kind of giving us yet more storage, but this is kind of more visible storage. So we made this with birch ply and doweling, and we can put books here, guidebooks, and room for more plants as well.
This is the top of our van. First bit we have is a nice little window with a Charlie behind it. We then have a vent followed by 3 solar panels and another vent at the back. And then right at the back we've got our little reversing camera, which is an absolute godsend with something this long.
I think living with someone in a van should be added to dating websites. I think every prospective couple should go out and give it a go. And if you can get on and have a great time in a really confined space and not get annoyed at each other, it's probably a goer. Whereas if you get really irritated by one another, probably move on.
So we have a 65 litre water tank which feeds the tap in the main bit of the van and the shower here. That goes through to a SureFlow water pump and then into an accumulator, and then is distributed out to the 2 channels that way. So as you can see, our boot space is really comfortable. We've got plenty of room for the boiler and the heater. The heater was a really good Gumtree find. We set up alerts before we'd even started the project, and we got it for about a third of what it had cost to buy it new, and it's only a couple of years old. It's been working perfectly. So the gas heater links through to this manifold. So welcome to the underside of the van and our LPG tank. So you can also see our regulator there, and that we've mounted the LPG tank using FlexLink. So we have a Camplux outdoor shower, and I'm emphasising the outdoor bit, and that's why we've got it really close to the exit of the van. We don't have a chimney or any ducting coming off it, so it does need to be in a ventilated area. So at the flick of the switch, we can have a nice warm shower. So we've got both our water and our LPG fill points in this location. So we can just lift it up, unscrew the cap, add the funnel in, hook it on there and pour the water in. It's nice and simple. LPG was a little bit more complex. Initially you might notice that we have a hole here, and we did have the fill point there. But when you attach the large nozzle, you have to rotate it around, and we found that it ended up clashing on the sides here. So we've now just moved it to this location.
So the 2 questions that we get asked the most are, number 1, how much did our conversion cost? And number 2, how do we go to the toilet? the total build cost of the van and the build was £15,500, which we're pretty happy with considering the finish of our van. But I mean, equally, it's super easy to build a van for like way less money if you have a really low budget.
So where do you go to the toilet?
In a little bottle.
Overall, I think the van life community is pretty amazing. One thing that I've become more sort of focused on recently is trying to leave wherever we've been in a better state. The van life community and people living in vans is seen as a pretty negative thing. So I think if lots of us can sort of try and leave the areas better than when we sort of arrived, I think that will hopefully change perceptions over time.